Hey guys, how's it going? I've been speaking to a lot of people lately, people who are interested in career switching, people who are interested in starting new careers, and they've been trying to figure out, okay, what's the quickest way to learn something and actually earn a good return from it, i.e., get a good job and earn good money from it. I can only talk from my experience, so I'm going to talk about becoming a data analyst. There was a video I created maybe a month or two ago now, which talked about skill stacking. It's a concept of basically looking at what skills you can get that are complementary and that would help increase your value in the market. Let's look at data analysis. What is data analysis? According to Wikipedia, data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusions, and supporting decision making. Basically, it's about taking data from different sources, making sense of it, and then providing information that can then be used for decision making and drawing conclusions. To become a data analyst, there are a few steps you can take to get there. And if you know what you're aiming for, it won't take you as long as you kind of filling in the dark and just learning random skills. You could probably learn to be a good enough data analyst within about maybe 3 to 6 months, give it a year even. People go at different paces, but the important thing is knowing what path to follow and then what skills to build along the way. There are 5 skills I'm going to tell you about that I think are worth developing. The first is Excel. I think Excel is the basic for anybody who is looking to become a data analyst. That means knowing how to use Excel to put data into tables, to analyze data. Things like simple operations like knowing how to add, subtract, multiply, and then you go on to more complex things like VLOOKUPs, like pivot tables. The way you would learn that actually is just through constant practice. So find many exercises online. I'll put links to places where you can go online to learn about data analysis and particularly using Excel, and then where you can practice. I'll then show you other skills you can build. After Excel, you've then got SQL. SQL is a programming language. Sometimes it's called SQL, sometimes it's called SQL, and it's a very simple programming language. It's what you can use to get access to databases. Now, databases are stores of data. You have a lot of rows and columns, and basically it's like a spreadsheet, but then on a bigger scale, and you can have a lot more data inside. Now, once you can access databases, then you can start working with large amounts of data. Knowing how to query SQL databases is very, very important because then you can get access to bigger data, and bigger data you can then analyze. The next skill that will be worth learning is data visualization. Now, visualization is about being able to turn your numbers into pictures, into things that people can easily understand. You know, if you have a series of numbers and rows with a lot of data, it doesn't make it very easy for people to understand. But when you have a pie chart that says maybe 50% of people consume ice cream, you can tell straight away, okay, what it's trying to tell you, rather than just looking at a lot of rows of people who eat and don't eat ice cream. And then you can also go on to create dashboards with which people can then access data. They can view data themselves. They can actually, change one or two things and say, okay, maybe amongst the girls, how many girls eat ice cream versus boys, or how many people travel abroad versus just go traveling within their country, that sort of thing. So you can mix and match and show different things. But anyway, once you've learned how to kind of munch data, you've learned how to get data from databases, you're now using data visualization tools like Tableau, like Power BI, to actually visualize that data. The next phase would then be to learn a programming language for data analysis, which will let you do a lot more complex operations when it comes to data analysis. So the two programming languages you could use in that respect are Python and R. When I was going through my journey in learning data analysis, I opted to learn Python instead of R. R is a language that's specifically made for data analysis, whereas Python is a language that's made for programming. You can program many things with it, but it's also pretty good for data analysis. I opted to go for Python just because I knew the skills I was learning in Python would actually make it easier for me to then transition to using those skills in other things. So I've made small programs and games and little scripts using Python. The knowledge I learned doing data analysis with Python, I was able to use some of that knowledge to actually create other things using Python, which is why I opted to go for Python. It's up to you, but I would say go for Python because it's a skill that's versatile and you can use to do many things from web design, app design, systems development, all sorts. So yeah, and those are the 4 main skills for data analysis. Now, the 5th one, which I thought I'd add in there, is communication. So it's all well and good being able to get into the data and understand what it's saying, but actually it's not just that. You also have to present it back to people. Now, it can be presented in terms of a presentation, it can be sending an email, it may be creating a presentation like a PowerPoint document or a Google Slides document to share with other people so that you can describe what's going on. That's also a keen skill to develop, again, for all the things I've mentioned. So Excel, learning SQL for accessing databases, learning data visualization, so Tableau or Power BI for visualizing that data, and then Python for doing some deeper data analysis. You can learn all of these things online. Literally just go on YouTube, search for a beginner's course in whatever it is you're looking for, and you find courses there to help you learn. Same thing with the skill of communication and presentation. If you go online, you can find out about how to present data in a presentation, for example, or how to present data in a report. You can learn those skills as you go on, and then just take on a few projects, practice them, search online for practice projects as well. The thing with data analysis is a skill that you just have to keep practicing, and you keep getting better and better, but you've got to start somewhere. So if you're new to data analysis, you don't know what it's about, I would say look for a course that would teach you about Excel, and particularly you can even search for Excel for data analysis and then follow a course that will teach you those skills, and then you can keep building on those skills and become a data analyst. Beyond that, you also need to be able to show your work. So it's really important to not just watch training videos, but actually put to practice the things you're learning. Follow along, download the data set, create data visualization, do some analysis or summarizing of data using Excel, query a few databases using SQL, create dashboards, beautiful dashboards for people to interact with the data using Tableau or Power BI, and share that data with people, communicate somehow, put it on your social media, create a separate website. And many websites you can create without knowing how to code nowadays. Create a website where you put it on, or just create a social media account. That's probably the easiest way. And then just post your work. And the important thing is to show your development and your work. Don't wait till your work is perfect. Literally show your progress, because on the one hand, you'll be able to show how you're growing. On the other hand, people can see that, okay, this person is learning and continuing building on their skill. Plus, you're showing people what you're learning. Employers like to see that. They like to see that you know what you're doing and they can see the skills that you have. So here is my expose into a path you could pursue in becoming a data analyst. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this, and if it's something you might be interested in getting into. And if it's something you want me to create more videos about, I can do that. I'm looking to create more and more videos, just inspiring and helping people to be better and do better. One of those things is also giving people the skills or guiding them on what skills to pursue in order to grow and in order to make an impact on the world and also make an impact on their pockets. Hope that was interesting and useful to you. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.